Okay, class, basically we're in the 5 vehicle. If you still remember, in the very beginning, we talk about 4 right views. Okay, so the right views regarding this, the good and the bad. There is 3 life. Okay, and then there is reincarnations. Okay, then there is a sage and okay, there's a sage and the normal people like you and I. Okay, then from here we'll go to the top. After that we understand there's a reincarnation. So the reincarnation at this section, different realm has been introduced to let us understand that what is their pros and cons in the different realm. And then by knowing the reincarnation, we should be more vigorous in cultivation. That is the purpose by telling us the 6 realms. And from here, we go to the 3 important elements. Number 1 is about the giving. Second is the meditation. Second is the precept. Third is the meditation. So we have finished the precept. Remember, once you do giving in the 5 vehicle, 3 elements is count. Number 1, what is the intention? Second, the target. The third is the value of the things you give. All right. Then secondly, we go to the precept. So precept, we include the 5 precept and 8 precept together. So by having the 5 precept and 8 precept, the fundamental with these 2 things, we go to the last one is the meditation. Okay. Class, remember, 5 vehicle is the most practical part for the layman, but this is not the main destination. 5 vehicle target for being human and the deva. Meaning to say that if you do very well for 3 meritorious deed, it is enough the merit to become a human and reborn the deva. But this is not the final destination because both of these 2 realms are still subject for reincarnation. So we need to say that now we understand the meditation. By just then after the meditation, we'll go through regards the 6 collection of the 6 recollection and also Maitreya. So we will understand Maitreya will be introduced in this chapter, the pure of the Maitreya. So once we finish this part, we will proceed to the 3 vehicle. Okay. So let's begin now. Okay. So Yongxin, can you please read the verse number 54 first?
Practicing meditation means to regulate and concentrate on 3 things. To have one's mind focused in one state, it's called concentration. Suffering and pleasure will successively cease. The method of practicing meditation is basically to regulate and concentrate one's body and mind. To regulate means to subdue and to refine. The human mind, like an unruly, ill-tempered horse, is hard to control. Like an untamed bull trampling through the rice plants, the mind must be controlled and disciplined. Only when it is calm and gentle can it respond to one's wishes. This is why the ancient analogies compare meditation to training a horse or taming a bull. To regulate also means to harmonize. According to the Xiaozi Guan, the minor cessations contemplation, 3 things have to be regulated and focused: the body, the breath, and the mind. The body has to be steady and upright, comfortable and calm, without moving unintentionally and without any feeling of stress and attention. The eyes are closed and the mouth is shut, with the tongue touching the upper palates effortlessly. One must regulate one's breathing until the inhalations and exhalations gradually become gentler and longer, without noise and in a consistent pattern, as if there were no breathing at all. This has to be done through gradual practice and should not be rushed. To regulate the mind, one must fix it on an object, keep it from being scattered, and keep it from becoming sleepy or restless. When the mind is concentrated and in equanimity, it will naturally become secure and steady. When the mind is the master, the body is in the state of quiet, stillness. the mind and breath mutually dependent, then reach the state of concentration.
Okay, thank you so much. Okay. Basically, most of the students are graduate from, not most, all are graduate from meditation for beginners. Basically, once we talk about the meditation, meditation involves the regulations, involve the regulation of 3 parts of the body, such as the body, the mind, and the breath. Basically, once the regulation for the body, you have to sit upright. You will stay upright once you have a good cushion. No, this is not that good, the cushion. This is bad. Let me look for you. The good cushion is supposed to be like this. Now let's take a look. This is the good cushion. There will be some degrees sliding down. So the cushion will help you to strengthen your back. Okay, so it says number 1. Then second, once your back is straight, you have to relax. Okay. Nowadays, people forget how to relax. The reason is long-term working, especially like Amanda, Yongzin SJ, like Elena also, because you are facing computer 8 hours, you used to be tension already. If suddenly if you are requested to relax yourself, suddenly you are unable to do so. So that's the reason why before meditation, make sure your body is in a fully relaxed situation. So if you can't relax it, you can find that if you try to do anapanasati involves a concentration to the breath. If after the concentration, after the meditation session, you don't feel fresh, but you even feel more tired, meaning to say that you have used, you use too much energy to concentrate already. That might not be right already. Okay, then next is if let's say after the meditation, both of your shoulder it's become tense out and very tired. That this situation signifies that you won't achieve the best result of a meditation. Why? Because you are not in the good. You are not in the good relaxation situation. So class, make sure you are in the relaxation. You are in the best. You are in a relaxation situation by double checking your shoulder, and do you feel tired after the meditation? Okay. Basically, most of not most of you, all you learn the Qigong before except SJ, because Qigong is trying to letting go the mind, emptying the mind. So basically, it will never happen that you over relaxing until you become tired. It never happened. So so meaning to say that if let's say you really feel tired through the meditation, concentration on the breath, you can try to shift the method to emptying your mind. So you just empty your mind, meaning to say that you focus nothing, right? Empty the mind means focus nothing. So it can help you to balance your tension. Okay. Whereas for emptying the mind, since it is relaxed, it can happen to over relax. Once you are over relaxed, what happened to you if you are over relaxing? Mrs. Leong, what happened to you if over relaxing? Mrs. Leong, yes, sleeping. So that is the disadvantage of emptying the mind. Okay, so get it. So you have to counterbalance for yourself. So now the way I see is that Yung Si and Amanda put more time on emptying the mind. Whereas Yukwa, Elena, Sebi, and Mr. Leong, they are put more time on Anapanasati. So check it by yourself. So once you adjust the body, second you have to adjust the breath. Well, there's some conflict. What you learn and the point here. Remember in the class, what I mentioned is just be natural, right? You don't go to control the breath. So just let it be natural. The things will just go smoothly. But here you have to regulate your breath so that it becomes more subtle. Okay. But anyway, if the way I see it, you don't follow this. You just be natural. If your mind, if your meditation really works, the breath will turn out in the situation like it become subtle, it become long, and become thick, and become deep. It go deep to the diaphragm. That will be the proper way. So the better you concentrate, the more quiet you feel, then the more subtle the breath, and it will turn out become as subtle as doesn't exist. It seems like it doesn't exist. So you will notice in this way. So meaning to say you are in the correct position. Then next, so after regulating the breath, then we'll go to the regulating the mind. Basically, the situation, the mind, either it is restless or it fall to sleeping. So you just have to adjust accordingly, so that you won't fall to sleep. Then you can meditate very well. Okay. So far, shall I know? Is there anyone satisfied with your recent performance of meditation? Can you put up your hand? Anyone satisfied? Your recent performance of meditation? Mr. Leong, Mr. Leong only. So the rest all fail already. Or maybe you don't even meditate, because you don't meditate, so you don't know whether you're satisfied or not. Okay. Then next, let's take a look. So we see, let me check, is there anything I missed out? Okay, there's one more thing is about the tongue. The tongue should, the tongue are touching the plate effortlessly. Well, there's a two way of a teaching. Basically for Taoism and also for the Yogaism, you are encouraged to tongue up, okay, tongue to the palate. But for Theravada meditation, they don't encourage, they say whether you tongue up or not tongue up doesn't matter, because they don't use Qi to explain their meditation, because the Qi have to go through this part. Mr. Leong, am I right? In Theravada, Mr. Leong, Mrs. Leong, if in Theravada they don't say they don't comment anything whether you should tongue up to the palate or not. They never mentioned that, right? Theravada.
No, just
you can off the camera, please, Mr. Leong, off the camera. Yes, answer please.
Actually, it should be placed normal and natural. No need,
do nothing lah. Yeah. So you see, different school with different teaching lah. But now, is there anyone experience the tongue naturally want to go up? Put up a hand. Naturally, the tongue wants to go up. Anybody experience that? Elena. So good. Elena, how about your saliva? Do you feel the saliva is sweet? Turns out sweet. The saliva. Yes, Elena. So Elena, if your saliva turns sweet, it's very good, because it serves as a medicine already. Only Taoism is able to explain this type of a situation. Taoism, if Theravada, Visuddhimagga, they don't explain this because the way the focus is different. They are more on mental state. For Taoism, Yogaism, they're more on physical. So the change on the physical, they have rules and regulations. But if let's say you go through the lectures by Master Xuan Hua, especially Chinese monk, because a Chinese monk, you know, basically Chinese monk, they stay together with the Taoism, and both of them are mutually influential. That's why just now Yongxin read the Xiao Zhi Guan, that one. That the author is the Zhi Dashi. He's the one who stay in the Tiantai, and as I know, Tiantai, there are so many Taoists stay in the Tiantai, so there will be some exchange of the experience. So you will find out some Taoism elements in Chinese Buddhism and the meditation. Okay, get it? It doesn't matter as long as it takes effects, and as long as it won't harm the core of the Buddhism. Basically, we allow it. It is quite normal. Okay. Like what I teach a lot of energy and chakra. This is more about the Tibetan Buddhism or the Yogaism. So nothing. So it is very common. But we don't. But I mean, we cannot deviate from the core teaching. That will be fine. Okay. So this is about the point here. Now, class, you see here, you mentioned Xiao Zhi Guan. So what is this Xiao Zhi Guan about? Actually, this Xiao Zhi Guan is in the Tiantai. It's in the Tiantai. Let me show you. If you got opportunity, you can try to visit this Tiantai San. It's in the China. Let me have a look. Tiantai San. It's in the China, Zhejiang. So I will use the Beijing as a landmark, as a benchmark. I use Beijing. So class, let's take a look. Okay, so basically we don't walk nowadays, we drive. So from Beijing to Tiantai Mountain is about 14 hours only, not very far. So this is the location, Tiantai. Okay, so this is the Tiantai San. Let's take a look. The Tiantai Mountain. Why Tiantai is so famous in China? The reason is due to, I mean, the founder. The founder is the monk. I mean, the founder is quite famous until the king also learned under his, take refuge under, take bodhisattva precept under him. Tiantai San. So you see, it looks so beautiful. So this is the Tiantai. So the Zhi Dashi, he established the temple here. So this is the patriarch, how to say, so this is the origin of the Tiantai. This Tiantai, is, I mean, the Tiantai in Japan is origin from the Tiantai here. Tiantai is, we call it as a Chinese Buddhism, meaning to say that once the Dharma come to the China, so the Chinese people learn the Buddhism, and then from here they inspire to come up with some new idea. And here, I mean, the founder of this Tiantai, according his record, he just keep on bowing to the Dharma Flower Sutra words by words. So suddenly he able to see the Shakyamuni is still preaching in this place. So according to the bibliography, according to his bibliography, he mentioned that during meditation he's able to see this is an India one. He saw Shakyamuni. He sees Shakyamuni is still preaching in this place. According to Mahayana, Dharma Flower Sutra and also Amitoji is preached here. So this is the Rajkyu in Rajkyu, Lingjiu San. Yeah, anybody been there before? Anybody been there before? Besides me? Nobody been there. If you got chance for pilgrimage, it is good for you. You can target it. This is the place. But remember, I went there more than 10 years ago, but the security is very bad. I remember there's a security man with a gun to accompany her to go up to the mountain. They said there's a lot of, I think a lot of thief, a lot of robber there. So we need somebody to accompany us. And nowadays, maybe there might be some change. Once we reach the mountain, what we try to do is we just meditate and do the chanting here. So we understand Buddha preaching here. So it makes this place is so famous. See, Theravada, Mahayana, wherever tradition, they all mutually recognize this place and do the chanting here. So this is called as a Lingjiu San. Let me check for you. Lingjiu San in English. Okay, so this is the name. Gudra Gutta. So this is the name Gudra Gutta. Okay, then next let's take a look. You see in order to regulate the mind, we have to keep it from become sleepy or restless. So next paragraph, to what extent? Amanda, your turn to read, please.
To what extent can one achieve concentration through one's practice? When one reaches the condition in which the mind is focused, this is called concentration. Concentration is samadhi in Sanskrit, which means to be equal and to be able to hold. Being equal means having equilibrium without restlessness or stupor. And holding means maintaining single-mindedness without scatteredness. In the initial stages of practicing meditation, it is difficult to try to hold the mind in one state because it has many distracting thoughts. One's thoughts must be like lassos, continually turning the mind back and keeping it in the one focused state. If one does this, then with time the distracting thoughts will gradually cease. At first, distracting thoughts will arise only occasionally. Eventually, one will be able to hold the mind in equanimity and in a state of single-minded. When one starts to feel mild physical and mental bliss, one will have achieved concentration. There are different stages of concentration, ranging from the superficial to the profound. These stages are commonly described as the 4 dhyanas, jhanas, and the 8 states of meditation. Jhana means calm thought in Sanskrit because it also has the special meaning of having both concentration and wisdom in equal proportion. Jhana is considered especially important in the Buddha Dharma.
Okay, thank you so much. Okay, class, take a look. Now we talk about the definition of the concentration. Basically in Sanskrit, concentration, we will use the word jhana. Okay, but here, the way it writes is a dhyana. Let's take a look. You see, it begins with the D, right? You see or not? But some, it begins with the jhana. Let's take a look. There's a few words. It begins with the samadhi, and some we begin with the dhyana. Let's take a look. You see a dhyana. Let's do a little bit checking for it. Okay, rupa jhana. Jhana is a Sanskrit. DH is a Sanskrit. JH is the Pali. So there will be a little bit difference. Either both are correct. Once we talk about the jhana, it means basically it refers to the first, second, third, fourth jhana. In order to attain to the jhana, your mind must attain the equilibrium between, the scatter. Meaning to say your mind must be totally free from scatteredness, scatter, or maybe doze off. Okay, or you feel want to sleep. Okay, and the mind always hold in the proper, must be hold properly on your object, like the breathing. So meaning to say your mind always with the breathing and mindful with the breathing from 1 second, 10 seconds to 10 seconds, and then from 10 seconds to 1 minute, and from 1 minute to 5 minutes to 100 minutes. So the accumulation of the mindfulness, we call it as a jhana. But it will take at least 2 to 3 hours in order to really, experience the jhana. Basically, for certain people, they will see the lights. We call it as nimitta to appear. The light could be scattered or it could be stable. Stable light is better than the scattered light. Anyway, both of them are created by yourself, by your concentration. Once you concentrate yourself, for some people, it's so easy they can create the light, they will see the light. For some people, they can very hard to see the light. The nimitta is, you can check reference of the nimitta from Visuddhimagga or some Nikaya. You're able to discover these words. So meaning to say that if your mind is always in the very focus, so the nimitta will appear. Please ignore the nimitta. Just keep on observe the breath until the unification between the nimitta and the breath. Then you observe the nimitta. Don't play your nimitta. If you play your nimitta, make it big, make it small, you may lose it. It's just like a woman experience abortion. If a woman experiences abortion, she can hardly to experience second pregnancy again. It's same. If you just play with the nimitta, if it's gone, you're going to recover back. It's quite difficult. So don't play over it now. So this is something additional. Then let's take a look. Okay. So this is a dhyana. Anyway, for this, both concentration and wisdom in equal proportion, meaning to say that in this level, in first, second, third, fourth jhana, concentration and wisdom are in the equal proportion. The reason is that if you use this jhana to do the vipassana, you can get the result very soon. Okay, next paragraph. Two perspective. SJ, please, can you please read it out? Two perspective
on achieving the 4 jhana. Concentration may be based on eliminating differentiation or eliminating emotions. In the first kind, the mind gradually stops differentiating. Sentient beings' minds normally differentiate. They either change the object of focus or shift mental images. Those who practice meditation, concentrating the mind, connecting all thoughts, and abiding securely and clearly, have minds that are calm, steady, and thoroughly clear. Only at this point can one enter the state of concentration. Some people think that they have eliminated differentiation from their minds when they have but briefly put an end to confused thoughts or are simply unaware of their stupor. They do not know that after entering the first jhana, their minds still differentiate. Even though objects and the perceptions no longer change, they still experience the cause differentiation of reflection and the fine differentiation of investigation. This is called the samadhi of reflection and investigation. Between the first jhana and the second lies a middle jhana, in which there is no cause differentiation. This is called the samadhi without reflection and with investigation. When one enters the second jhana, even the fine differentiation disappears. This is called the samadhi without reflection or investigation. At this level, although one is still aware of the state one is in with only slight reflection, one does not differentiate conceptually. One therefore does not initiate speech, for speech is a verbalization of the reflection and the investigation of one's mind.
Okay, thank you so much. Class, in order to avoid confusion, because in Theravada, now what we learn in the way to Buddhahood, okay, the author used the material more on Savastivada. If you learn the Abhidhamma, basically the material is from the Tauyatimsa, the present Theravada. In order to avoid the confuse, class, can you please just do a little bit notes that down? Okay, reflection and investigation. Reflection means the vitakka in Pali lah. Please write down. Okay, vitakka. Maybe I put Mandarin also. Okay, never mind, I don't say it. Okay, so class, just write like this. Just okay. This is the vitakka, vichara. Okay. Please do a little bit notes. This reflection, the reflection means the vitakka. Okay. Then the second is the investigation, mean vichara. Please write it down. So the different translation Vitakka is applied thought. And then we have a Vichara. Let's see Vichara for what in different translation. Vichara means sustained thinking. Some they use sustained thinking. So please just write down Vitakka, Vichara. So this is applied thoughts, sustained thinking. Can't see clearly, Mr. Leong. Let me magnify it. Okay. So here is this Vitakka, Mr. Leong, Vitakka Vichara, applied thought. And then is sustained thinking. Okay, class, basically once we talk about the Vitakka Vichara, the way we understand the jhana from Sarvastivada and the Taoyatimsa, there might be some different. If let's say in Theravada, I think the way is more simple and easy. Vitakka means what? You see, let's say this is a breathing, right? Once you pay attention to your breathing, that is the Vitakka. Then you continuing being, if you continue mindfulness after the breathing in and out, so that is the Vichara. So simple. Whereas for Sarvastivada, it mentioned the word investigation, differentiation. So people might think that, oh, you try to think. You see, just now the translation, we use the word sustained thinking, right? Oh, actually, no, class, it is not thinking. It's translation error. You don't think once you're in the jhana. But the real meaning is you pay attention, is the Vitakka. Okay. Then you keep on maintain the concentration, is the Vichara. Okay. So in Sarvastivada, they call this is because it's a differentiation. So for this jhana, this part, preferably you use the Theravada explanation, then you won't be confused. Here, it mentioned that basically our mind is, why we call our mind is a differentiation. The reason is we keep on changing the object of focus and shift the mental images. That would be right. So normally our mind is keep on changing, changing the subject, changing the image. This is the nature of the sentient being. Besides, we keep on changing, our mind will feel very empty. So you will look for entertainment. So that's why if you do nothing, you feel so boring. You have to look for entertainment. So the entertainment will create excitement. So the excitement, once we are in excitement, we feel so comfortable. We feel alive. We feel we are exit. So this is reason why not the computer game is so popular. Because once you play computer games, the games are one stage to one stage. You have to conquer and collect the marks. And once you try to how to say, to come from one stage to other stage, there will be some challenging for you. So you feel the excitement. Even though you feel tired now, but you still want keep on conquering in order to feel the satisfaction. Because our mind basically, we cannot be nothing, be doing nothing. Our mind cannot be doing nothing. Okay. And then after the excitement, you feel tired. Then you go have a meal. So you will look for a delicious meal. Again, our mind don't want to be always in the equanimity or neutral. We want to try to taste some delicious drink. Then again, we'll go to the coffee, want to drink. We keep on want to stimulate our senses to keep on create, the sense of the joy. Once your body cannot respond, for example, okay, you drink coffee, maybe just how should I put it? You see, basically, if you want to make a coffee, I will put one tablespoon of the beans to grind it. Okay, but if let's say this 1 spoonful of the coffee bean can't make me feel excited, can't make me feel the joy. So what should I do next? Sally, you think what will you do next if you don't feel any enjoy and excitement with the 1 teaspoonful of the coffee beans?
Add more lor.
Yes, that's true. So you see, if you go to join, if you have an experience of gambling before, if you don't feel anything, you have to keep on adding your bet. From $5 or $5, maybe go to $10, $15, you feel more excitement. So people always keep on looking for it. So you see, this is our situation. Our mind cannot be nothing. So we prefer the joy. But basically, for those who do the meditation, we still look for the joy. As long as you feel the joy during the meditation, since the joy is even more subtle and refined, we prefer it. We will stay on it. We will stick on it. Then we will let go the joy, which is origin from stimulation of the senses. Because the 5 senses, the joy is so coarse. It is too rough if we compare with the joy from the jhana. Okay, so this is what we mentioned here. So it is normal for people to keep on to add up, to try to stimulate their organ. Why? Because they want more joy, they prefer joys a lot. Okay, next paragraph. Yeah, Elena, your turn to read. When
one enters the 2nd jhana, even the fine dispensation disappears. This is called the samadhi, without reflection or investigation. At this level, although one is still aware of the state of one is in, with only slight reflection, one does not differentiate conceptually. One therefore does not initiate speech, for speech is verbalization of the reflection and the investigation of one's mind. Entering the 3rd jhana, one intuitively feels inner equanimity and purity. As it is said, with inner equanimity, one can have right mindfulness and right knowledge. Since this state can also be achieved by non-Buddhists, one must not think that just because one has eliminated differentiation, one has realized the original purity of the mind. Meditation above the 2nd jhana is called for non-differentiating concentration that overcomes reflection and investigation. Concentration may also be based on eliminating emotions. In stages, meditation transcends all suffering and joy until one reaches ultimate. In the realm of desire lies physical pain and mental sorrow. But when one reaches the 1st jhana, sorrow and anger from the sensual pleasures and afflictions no longer arise. Because the mind withdraws from the sensual pleasures, joy and bliss arise. Joy is the happiness of the mind, while bliss is mild comfort, both physical and mental.
Okay, we digest this paragraph first. Okay, class, let's draw a simple diagram. Let's take a look. So that you understand first, second, third, fourth jhana. I'll try to explain it properly so that one day you will really aiming for the jhanas. Okay, so class, let's take a look. I will try. Okay. Okay. So this is the first, this is the jhana. Jhana. So this is first, second, third, and fourth. Okay. Check for you. Reflection, investigation. Reflection, investigation, joy, equanimity. Then this is correct. Let me check first. Wait. Joy and rapture. Joy and bliss. Okay, so class, we use this word bliss. Okay, so just copy down. This is from the Nikaya or the Sutra. Thumb up, please. So once you finish. Okay, Mrs. Leong, finish. Oh, they are frozen. Okay. So class, take a look. Okay. So this is the jhana. Once you attain first, second, third, fourth jhana. So this is, we call it as a jhana anga factor. You need to say that once you reach to the first jhana, you are going to experience the reflection, investigation, joy, bliss, and equanimity. Class, basically, these 5 is the, we call it as a mental state, the mental factor. The mental factor is available. You are able to check it. You are able to check the availability of the 5 mental factor to confirm you are in the first jhana. Okay. Then if you reach to the second jhana, you must be able to see the disadvantage of the first jhana and the advantage of the second jhana. What is the disadvantage of the first jhana? Is about the reflection and also the investigation. In Sawasdiwada, in this school, basically, if you need some verbal conversation, you need this investigation and reflection. You will need both of this mental factor for communication. You need to say that if you are in the first jhana, since communication is very coarse, it is very rough. That is the disadvantage. So you have to tell yourself that, oh, this is more rough. If I want to experience a more subtle mental state, I have to shift to the second jhana by just forgone these 2 of the reflection and the investigation. So once you think about the advantage, the disadvantage of the reflection investigation, you will drop these 2. You will reach to the second jhana with joy, bliss, and equanimity. Okay, but once you're in the second jhana, you will know, once you do the meditation, the master will tell you that, yes, you get the joy, but the joy is still too rough. In order to experience a subtle bliss, you have to forgo the joy. Okay, forgive the joy. So meaning to say that after contemplate, contemplate the disadvantage of the joy, you will forgive, you will forgo it. Then you will enter to the third jhana, bliss. In the Dharma, I mentioned that the third jhana is the most, you can't see any mental state, which is, how should I put it? This is the best happiness ever you will experience. If you tried that before, you can get any other joy which can compare with the third jhana. So class, please try to experience the third jhana so that one day, you won't feel wasting if you're able to attain to the third jhana. Of course, once you experience the third jhana, you will find that the bliss from all the, which is origin from the organ, is starting already. And lastly, is the fourth jhana. Fourth jhana is in the equanimity. You drop again the bliss, then you will experience the equanimity. Class, basically, Mr. Leong, I think if you after listen this, you will notice that there are some difference between the the Theravada and the Mahayana. It is normal. There are some different. But as long as we understand, the key point is when once you come from one, you enter one jhana from another jhana, you have to drop some jhana mental factor in order to proceed. So that is the the point regards to the jhana. Okay, so we further we go back to the text. Okay, Elena, your turn to read, please. When one reaches
read already.
Oh, read already. Oh, okay, sorry. I haven't at the point.
Sorry, Sifu.
Not yet, okay. Yes. Read again.
Not yet.
Yeah.
Not yet, not yet.
Your mistake. Yes. Okay. Please.
When one reaches the second jhana, the joy and peace that one experiences arise from concentration. This joy and peace are not the excited state of the initial departure from desires, but happiness is still active. When one enters the third jhana, which is called the bliss of leaving happiness behind, there is no longer happiness. The bliss in this concentration reaches the peak of worldly happiness. Thus, when someone wants to describe extreme happiness, they may say, it was like entering the third jhana. Of course, this cannot be compared to the bliss of emancipation, which is free from afflictions. In the fourth jhana and above, even when bliss comes to an end, only tranquil equanimity remains. In comparison to excited happiness, this is the supreme bliss. The first grouping of the different levels of concentration is that of the four jhanas. Four jhanas and the four formless states and the four infinite states. Methods of meditation of concentration taught by the Buddha should be practiced step by step. The four formless states. Above the four jhanas are the four formless states of concentration. The states of infinite space, of infinite consciousness, of nothingness, and of neither perception nor non-perception. The four formless states are worldly states of mental concentration that are relatively more profound in terms of concentration than they are in terms of wisdom. The four jhanas and the four formless states together are called the eight concentration. They constitute a gradation from superficial to profound according to the levels of the power of concentration. Non-Buddhists can also successfully practice and attain these concentrations.
Okay, thank you so much. Okay, class, let's take a look. Okay, so here is it. When one reaches second jhana, joy and bliss, one experience arise from the jhana. See or not? So this is when you go to the second jhana, you see the joy and the bliss. Okay. Then the bliss in the concentration reaches the peak of the worldly happiness. That is the third jhana. So this is the peak, is in the third jhana. So in fourth jhana, you go to equanimity. But some people, but people also claim that maybe fourth jhana with the equanimity without the bliss also is the best. Is just with a different opinion. That's all only. Okay, then after the jhana, we'll go to this stage. We call it as the formless. So the name is quite difficult to pronounce. Formless means what? Meaning to say that once, you see, as a human, we got physical body. Okay, once we reach to the jhana, they still have the physical body, but the body is more refined. But if they meditate, go to further, the refined body will disappear. It becomes formless. Okay, Shakyamuni learned all the jhanas, and he got a teacher. So he met a teacher once he, I mean, after he just how to say after he shaved his own head, so he just keep on and look for his teacher, and he met two teachers, which is the highest of the jhana. One is the nothingness, one is the neither perception nor non-perception. Is there anyone have gone through the video clip showing Shakyamuni met the teacher about the nothingness? Put up your hand. Have you ever watched through the video clip? Say yes. The rest no. Okay. So I show you a video clip of how the Shakyamuni met the best and the last two teachers. Without English subtitle, you may feel boring. So this is the teacher. Let me find out the name for you. So class, you will notice that in order to able to see the teacher, you must be able to go to the jhana as deep as him. Then from jhana, they met to each other. I think maybe this is a partial of the fabrication of the screen player, but it doesn't matter. I like the fabrication actually, Elena. I like the fabrication. Okay, let's take a look. Because we go through the story of the bibliography of Shakyamuni for so many times already. I do feel so boring already. So sometimes you will become credibility. And I like that. Okay. So let's take a look. This is the name of the teacher. Let you copy down. So okay. Class, this is the name of the teacher. Just now he encountered Uttaka Ramaputra. Okay, so this is the name. Uttaka Ramaputra is the teacher he met to learn the neither perception nor non-perception. He met another teacher to learn the nothingness. So this is the name of the teacher. is the Alara Kalama class. The teacher for the teacher who teach him the nothingness is from this teacher, Alara Kalama. Please write down. Mr. Leong cannot see properly. Okay, finish. Alara Kamala. Okay, next. So class, in next lesson, I'm going to show you the video clip with regards the teacher who teach him the nothingness. Then we'll go through again to the 4 infinite states of the meditation state. So today, what you have learned is regards the meditation, and we introduce you to the 4th jhana. Class, the experience and the method of 4 jhana is still available in the market. Okay, please, after the MCO, go to look for them and learn and try, but you have to join the retreat. I think at least 7 days in order to learn 1 jhana. But basically, for those who can easily attain the nimitta, who learn the qigong, can easily calm down their mind, you will get a teacher easily. SJ, are you able to look for a teacher in Singapore who is going to teach the meditation to enter the jhana? SJ, do you get the teacher in Singapore or not?
I think I need to Google and see. I'm not sure.
Yeah. I will introduce you the teacher, especially under the tradition of Pak Ao. Now, so please copy down this. It's under Pak Ao tradition. They're able to teach to the deep jhana. Pak Ao, Singapore. See any other branch of Singapore? No? Got okay, or maybe Ajahn Brahmawamso. Second teacher is Ajahn Brahmawamso. Ajahn Brahmawamso. Both of them are able to teach until to the first. Both of them are eligible to teach until to the jhana. One more is Reverend Mahinda also. 3 people are eligible to teach until to the level of 4th jhana. Please just write down the name. So SJ. So you try to Google search whether is there any branch in Singapore or not. Okay, we stop our class here.